Heyo people! The Halloween patch is here, just as anticipated, so let's give this new timely patch update format a try, shall we? Sorry about the missed livestream, I was just too sick and dizzy yesterday to handle live streaming. I'm doing a lot better now. As usual, I like to start with the presents. Once again, we have a patch present waiting in our item mall carts. It's a small selection of items, including 7 Venus fragments. These goodies will be removed from your cart on November 28th, so make sure to take them before then. If you already have Venus maxed out, just throw those fragments at the Eidolon store for some coins. Now, they say you need to log in the day before the patch drops to ensure you get the goodies from the patch, but I realized this week I have a secret third account I was using to just check very early game stuff, and I haven't logged that in the last 60 days, so I went to check and all 3 of the last patch presents are there. Good to know. So, quickfire time. As anticipated, Eileen, with the quest experience buff, is gone, and half-price crafting is also gone. They have kept the 1G resets active, which makes sense if they're going to continue to drop little revisions for classes, which, spoiler, yes they have done again this time. We'll get there. We now have the bonus cooking and fish king event on, meaning fishing kings will net you 2 per catch, and perfect cooking will net you 3 food instead of 2. The nightmares from last time are closed, and instead we now have Chapter 6, Doom of Despair, at Subterranean Ruins dungeon entrance in Desolate Desert. The debuffs are real, as usual, but on top of that, the second boss is quite challenging even in solo mode. This plant heals every time you hit it with 5 critical hits, so you either have to out-DPS it, or use a lot of no healing effects, which unfortunately were stuck on my other characters, so I didn't manage to beat it here. We have a new Eidolon Gossip for Serena. The Discord has dubbed her new skin either moldy or algae, but take your pick. Rewards are the same as always. Fragments, purification scrolls, Eidolon accessory packs, pets, and the color variant costume from the Gossip. An interesting gold sync over here is the Little Star Coinmaster luck event. For 40G each, you can get a coin, up to 3 per day, which will have a chance of giving you 1 lucky stack or nothing. The lucky stacks last 3 days, and can be exchanged with her for different items. You can stack up to 20 times, which sounds like it's getting fairly expensive, but at 15 layers, you can get an Awakening Chest Secret Stone, an item that doubles the Awakening success rate for your Holy Chest if you're still working on that, and at 20, you can get 2 Navia Feasts and 2k LP. Just please don't choose 18 for a mount upgrade stone. Those are the items that convert orange mounts into gold mounts. I really don't think that's worth it. Also note, if you have more than the minimum needed, it will eat all layers and give you the level of prize that you ask for. And whatever you do, make sure to come back daily if you're stacking. Getting another lucky status will refresh your 3-day timer, but you won't get anything if it runs out. Anyway, next up we have the letter event. Nothing is locked behind the cash shop, which is a big improvement, but we got a problem anyway, so let's talk about it. 1,000 dragon points for the tea. Not bad. You can get plenty from running Gaia if you're short. Even if you're newer, you should be able to get that much from just the solo modes without any DP buffs. The R requires 100 duel coins, which you can get from the Duelist Temple right next to the duel shop by beating just the 3rd place duelist. And of course the others if you can beat them anyway. Zashi will hand over the C once every 2 hours, just drop by for a chat. And the K is in the LP store for a pretty hefty 1,999 LP, listed as a 30 unit limit per week. And I skipped the I because that's where the issue is. Right now the Divine Trial is both broken and handing out the wrong kind of crystal for the exchange, which you need 5 of, so 1 step forward, but still need some progress. That being said, if you want the new event title Pumpkin Queen, which comes with 50 to all stats, you're going to need to grind. It's one of the rewards in the random bag. And to be clear, this is the Discord event winning title. I've personally submitted a ticket asking them to adjust which DT item is needed for the exchange, and I encourage you to do so as well. Fingers crossed they take it into consideration and adjust the required item, rather than just leaving it. But hey, if you need a Holy Spirit, take advantage of the event and get in there. Divine Trial does not need gear, and you don't need to know the rules anyway because it's broken. Just get in there and punch people out, or immediately run into the danger zone to get 1 crystal guaranteed. One note is that the trick buff item works differently than before. You can't just trade for a bunch and then save to use into the future like we had before. You have to speak with Zashi to activate the buff for 2 hours. Given that I can't actually get the eyes right now to test, I don't know if one will give you all you can take buffs for the rest of the event or if it will be consumed. I will test for science once eyes are available and leave a comment down below. Next up, the big draw, Sky Tower, 5 new floors. Unfortunately, due to being sick, I decided against live streaming yesterday. I would have spent the whole time just complaining anyway, so I saved you the suffering alongside me, but I did run. The new drops are S30 enchantments, and dang is it beautiful up there. Anyway, big thanks to Transcendent for letting me raid with them and providing floor directions. Here's the quickest description I can give for each floor. On 71, speak with Demeter under the tree to get the watering status, and you have to water each flower 20 times. Watering them will spawn these annoying mobs that can basically permastun you into a transformed cutie until someone takes out the mob with the red zone around it. You can DPS them away or knock them back to free your friends, and then go talk to Persephone to become human again and continue watering the flowers until all of them have a light shining on them. When the hedgehogs spawn, take them out as soon as possible as they can undo your watering progress. For 72, you fight Demeter, who will gain immunities based on auras. By standing in the correct circle to get the matching buff, you can damage her again, but not gonna lie, I was very dizzy last night, so I was not able to read what was going on screen, and I'm not positive how you can tell what the right aura is. So, this is a great guide. On 73, step into the circle to become an imp. The black imps can freeze the flowers, and the blue imps can kill them. This works kind of like the Cursed Bird floor in Elite Sky Tower, but there's no fail state. You just need to get 100 flowers down to finish the floor. For the 74th floor, just a nuke. Kill the boss, use big damage. And on the 75th and final floor, you need to kill Demeter and Hades within 5 seconds. Technically a nuke floor. Both have multiple health bars, but you might need to coordinate a little bit, and try not to die like I did. This isn't exactly a guide, but I thought I may as well give a quick description of how I understand the floors despite my poor condition yesterday. Anyway, as a special warning, it seems that not hitting the final chest in the first 1 to 25 Sky Tower is no longer enough to sneak into Hero Sky Tower. You must not attend any Sky Towers at all during the week in order to skip right to the end raid. This was confirmed by players who had left Sky Tower on floor 23 last weekend, but still could not join the HST raid on the same character this weekend. If you're farming Sky Tower emblems, if possible, use low-level alts for those raids. Elite Sky Tower has poor drops and takes a very long time, so very few players are interested in running it every week, meaning that if you run Sky Tower, you are very likely not be allowed to enter Hero Sky Tower. And then finally, we have the Ravager class adjustment. Again, look at this. This time I have thanks for Sealeaf and Lind for providing the nitty-gritty, so let's get to it. There were a few small changes across some skills and nodes, but the main thing Flame Ravagers are going to see is that the Flame Slash skill has been adjusted. The AoE effect of it has been changed. Some like it, some don't, but at least to me, it doesn't seem like they've nerfed the bounces, so it's still my favorite skill in the game. The previous version had a linear AoE, whereas now each bounce has a 4-meter round AoE on hit. Is how I understand the change. Here is a very high quality drawing of my understanding of what is going on. This looks a lot worse, but remember it bounces to the closest enemy, so there wouldn't be anything in the linear AoE past the first bounce anyway, since it's always just going to the next closest target. The other changes aren't really so huge, but we're checking them anyway. Raging Slash and the left spec skill Frenzied Slash have had their AoEs doubled from 3 meters to 6 meters. The right spec skill Colossal Slash now applies a damage taken up debuff to targets, 5% for 12 seconds, and after using it, your rage will temporarily drop more slowly when not using skills. And since we're on the topic of right path, at level 60, Tornado Spin will debuff non-boss enemies' move speed to 50%. Or at least that's what my notes say. Sadly, despite my efforts and 400 Dragon Paragon coins, I could not get my mastery to 60 on my off path in time today. Once I've managed to get that, I'll add it to the comment below. Moving back to general notes, Aftershock's Ranting and Raving debuff now lasts 15 seconds instead of 5. Horizontal Slash's Ranting and Raving defense shred value has been increased, and lasts 3 seconds longer than before. The class buff, Strength of the Earth, now has more flat HP and includes 15% crit damage, meaning that it now has move speed and crit damage, which I love. I love that for Ravs. On the Envoy, the Rage node is supposed to have a 50% chance to clear 1 debuff when taking a hit added to its original effect, but it's not listed. I think it is in effect though, because these mature sprouts are supposed to be applying an 8-second debuff, but it vanishes immediately with all these little guys hitting me. Vindictive Burst used to have the effect of gathering aggro and applying an 8% defense debuff to targets around you when you attack, but it has been changed to attacks stacking 2% Great Axe damage, up to 5 stacks. Again, the text has not been updated, but I can confirm from the stacks that the new effect is working. In the notes specifically from Lind, we also have a second revision that should be coming in the future that includes more damage on the main node of Rav's Envoy, the left spec going all in on Flame Slash by adding a Flame Damage Taken debuff to Mirrored Axe, and a Flame and Physical debuff to Horizontal Slash. As for right spec, in the second adjustment, they're going to be getting a Storm Damage Taken debuff on Soaring Slash, and a Storm and Physical Damage Taken debuff on Aftershock. One last thing, and this is going to be short. The patch notes include the detail that exclusive Brilliant Evolutionary Beads are going to be a thing. Specifically, that there will be beads that only work on specific Eidolons. Based on the current implementation, they are currently interchangeable with the universal beads that exist, which are available for us in the LP store. But, and I don't want to be alarmist about it, if this explanation that Lind has provided is correct, pause to read, it might be in your best interest to take some time to stock up on LP beads now, just in case they become harder to obtain in the future. And that's it for now. Thanks for stopping in. Wishing you better luck than me on the HST floors next week, since I only got the least valuable S30 enchant cards. That kind of sucks. Anyway, that's really all for today. Let me know if you think it's better to get out the update sooner or summarizing the entire month in one go. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you next time. That was a terrible outro.